So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
It's Monday, and you know what that means. I am Boris Aguilar, and you are listening to the newest wrestling radio show here in Canada, A+ Wrestling. A+ Wrestling would not be possible without amazing tag team partners like T.O. Boat Tours. T.O. Boat Tours, Ontario's premier boat tour experience, where adventure meets relaxation on the stunning waters of Canada's most beautiful lakes and rivers in Ontario. That's T.O. Boat Tours for all booking and additional information. This show is part of the A+ Productions and A+ Wrestling Podcast Network, and now part of the KPHR family. That's Cat Power Hit Radio. We're more than just a weekly radio show, and we actually have a slew of shows for you each and every single week over on the A+ Productions Podcast Network, where we talk sports, entertainment, and then we bring it all together to talk some sports entertainment, also known as wrestling. You can find us on any podcasting platform as A+ Productions, but if you really just want to listen to our wrestling shows, you can do so by going to any podcasting platform and searching for A+ Wrestling. We can also be found online at aplusproductions.com and on all of the social medias as at A+ Productions. And we want you to be part of the conversation, and the best place for that is by going over to the Facebook group and searching for A+ Productions. We have a jam-packed show for you here on KPHR, John Cena's last time in Boston. We had Blood and Guts, new champions, and so much more. We're going to be talking about all that and then some here on KPHR's A+ Wrestling. I am Boris Aguilar, and as always, I am joined by Hutch Henrys. Hutch, how goes?
It goes like just how goes. I was waiting for the extra words, like how goes things this week or something like that. But it's just how goes.
How goes?
I like it. We truncate it.
I'm trying to be simple. I'm a simple man to begin with. This week, I'm going to start this new thing leading into 2026. I'm going to be a much simpler version of Boris.
All right. Well, I will try and be a little more simpler here today with you as opposed to rambling on as I usually do. And, I'm a simple man. Basically the universe, Dollarama, Canadian Tire, all the commercials, they've all told me that the minute that Halloween ends, it's Christmas. So I've spent the entire weekend putting up all the Christmas stuff with the girlfriend. We go overboard. She goes overboard. And now I go overboard. I've gotten used to it. But I already got my brandy and eggnog here. This is like organic because I was off of the eggnog for a long time, and I realized that it's because the stuff in the store really isn't very good. It has it all has this similar flavor that's not really good. Great vocabulary here, Jay. But the more organic stuff, homemade stuff, it's fabulous. And homemade gingerbread cookies, girlfriend, vanilla gingerbread with eggnog glaze. And I only had one bite before we started here, and damn, it was good. Damn, it was faux pas to eat on a podcast, but.
Look how festive we are here on A+ Wrestling, here on KPHR. Hutch,
I was going to get a festive background. Maybe next time.
There we go. I'm going to have to do that. Maybe a red light next week. We're going to red and green. That's what I'm going to do. Red and green combination backgrounds. Sorry for those of you listening on the radio, on KPHR, or on the podcast.
You're a groundbreaker.
Exactly. That's what.
Should we start talking about SmackDown because of your blue light? You should have lights for every show. I'm pretty sure this podcast.
I used to do that actually. As the things changed, my backgrounds would change as well. You see, always on the same page, my friend. All right, we had a very busy week. This week, no commercials here on KPHR. That's what we're doing. We have a full hour-ish, a little bit less now, to talk about the week that was and the week that will be in professional wrestling. Let us start with what happened last week. We're going to go back all the way to Monday Night Raw, John Cena's last time in Boston. First off, man, it is a shame that WWE's corporate head, the corporate takeover, keeps on showing its ugly face. And it was Boston in his fourth last appearance, as opposed to his last appearance. It for me, right away, it took something away from this whole tour with it being DC as his last appearance, not Boston. But that promo and that opening half-hour segment including the match with Dominic, was pretty special.
It was. I recall he says during that segment, because I got to admit, I was not expecting you to say anything like that just now. I agree with, I was like ready for where you were going to go. I'm like, yes, these fuckers. Sorry, but yeah, but I wasn't expecting you to say that. So I think he said during that segment that he just wanted to go to Boston. So I don't think it was really on their schedule. Where were they last week and where are they next week, Mr. Computer Man, Computer Brain? Tell me.
Previously, obviously, Boston a week ago. I'm not sure about 2 weeks ago at this point, but tonight on Raw, they are in Madison Square Garden.
All right, so that's pretty close to Boston. So it makes me seem like maybe, God, everything's so fake in wrestling. It's all kayfabe. So when he's like, I just wanted to go to Boston one last time, they were probably going to go to Boston anyways. It was just on the schedule, and I highly like him because they're going. But I don't know. It was great that he was there. I don't think it matters that it wasn't the last show, but certainly was special. He milked it for all it's worth. Thank God he's babyface John Cena and not heel John Cena, although there was still a lot of meat on that bone, baby. But what a great match. Dominic, tell me all about it, Boris.
Dominic Mysterio, man, how long have we been praising him? Honestly, I think since you and I met, we've been praising Dominic Mysterio every week. We continue to praise Dominic Mysterio as your mega campeon for AAA and your former IC champion. A lot of, I love the internet, my friend. I love when the internet says, this person got buried. A loss doesn't mean you got buried. And every person who's ever been, something in the business says how this elevated Dominic Mysterio, and I agree 100% with that. The match was great. Dominic Mysterio is great. Dominic Mysterio is the future. I will continue to yell that at the top of every mountain humanly possible.
I guess I gotta spend more time on Twitter. Sorry, X. Because I didn't know there were so many haters. I threw it to you because I just wanted some more cookie. These are some damn good cookies. I tell my woman after the podcast, so God damn, those are some good cookies, woman. Yeah, I don't think he got buried at all. Come on, this was like we were all talking about. Everybody's talking about how Dominic should be in the tournament, win the tournament. He should win the IC title, and that's the last title he hasn't won, and blah blah blah. So why is everybody surprised? This was a great way to do it. No one was expecting this out of the blue, and it's wonderful. And of course, he's going to lose it. He'll probably lose it next match he has. Is how the Saturday main event isn't his actual last match, is it? He's got another match.
No,
I was surprised.
Hold on. So
am I wrong? I'm wrong all the time.
You're wrong. You're horribly wrong yet again.
Okay.
We're gonna start keeping score, like right in the background. How many times Hutch is wrong?
We'll get like a wrong
every time you're wrong.
So he has no more matches.
Add a tick. So Survivor Series.
He's got 2 more appearances, 3 total. 1 is a match.
So he has a match tonight on Raw. We don't know against whom.
See.
He has a match, Survivor Series, in 13 days. We don't know against whom. Then he has his final match at Saturday Night's Main Event, mid-December.
So how am I wrong? I was only wrong because there's 2, not 1?
No, you're wrong because you said Saturday Night's Main Event was coming up sooner rather than later.
Well, all right, forget it. You're right. Okay, and I'm right too.
Hold on.
He has more matches. Okay, good. That's all I meant. Is like he has more matches, right? These aren't just appearances. There's matches.
Yeah, he has the next 3 appearances. Guy. His next 3 appearances are all matches. His last 3 appearances, all matches. All
right, cool. Jeez. All right. Well, I got to go to the Facebook page to see how many people are like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I just say I don't always pay attention to the minutia of that stuff, of what's coming up. I just pay attention to what's happening. I'm an in the moment kind of guy, Boris. Okay. The future is not set. I don't care. Especially, you know what? Or too. Do you know how many things I promote and we get ready for, and then the day of or the week of it changes? It's just like, who cares? Just it doesn't matter. But wonderful. So I was excited. The whole point of this schmoz here, where I've now looked like a fool, was I was going to be like, oh, he's probably going to lose the title right away. So either Survivor Series or tonight, he's going to lose the title. Probably, I guess, since he has a PLE appearance, he's going to probably defend it tonight and then lose it at the PLE to somebody important. And then, of course, the Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah, so
you like it, like
I have a question for you, right? I have a question. No, it's not. Not at all. I have a question for you. We've been talking for a long time about how Gunther is going to be the final opponent for John Cena, but now looking at things,
most likely, yes.
I agree, but what if I'm going to throw this scenario to you. What if it's Sheamus? What if Sheamus wins the tournament Sheamus faces Cena. Sheamus finally gets his Grand Slam on Saturday night's main event to retire John Cena.
I think Sheamus is a good choice. I don't know whether it's going to be the end of the tournament. What I thought you were going to say suddenly is because Gunther needs to make his reappear. Oh no, he hasn't appeared yet. He's not in. He's coming. He hasn't come back.
Yeah, but everyone knows he's in the tournament. And in fact,
have they announced his match?
Yeah, he is facing Javon Evans from NXT tonight on Raw.
Okay, so it's tonight on Raw that he's. I knew Javon Evans was in the tournament, and I was going to talk about that, but I didn't know who he was facing. When was that announced? Should I know that? I've been busy for the last 2 days. Was it announced on Friday or SmackDown or something?
But that's all right.
All right. It's too bad. Damn cookies. They're rotting my brain. But that's wonderful. So I thought, okay, what if Gunther wins it? Comes challenges him after the match. You both right tonight, and faces Cena. But you said he's facing someone tonight out of nowhere. It could be anything, right? You never know. They love to swerve us. But maybe Gunther gets the IC title and Sheamus and wins the tournament. But Sheamus winning at some point. Yes. God. Yeah. You're right. I should have just said yes. Yes.
Just disagree with me more often. You're going to learn to do that as this partnership grows. Boris, you are right. Boris, just take it. There we go. No, but right. It's interesting. There's, you know what? I will say this, right? There are a lot of scenarios. Like, what if Gunther loses tonight on Raw to Javon Evans and still challenges John Cena at Survivor Series? This is the thing. Like, for once, I kind of feel like as predictable as this tournament actually is, there are some scenarios that kind of keep it open-ended and exciting.
Mm-hmm. It was Punk that put him out too, right?
Yeah.
And Punk's the champ, so maybe a distraction. So I don't know. You're right. Maybe Javon Evans could pull it off. They'd love to push him to the next level, have him go to the second round before losing to someone. Him losing is pretty obvious. So if he wins, that's great because, everybody knew that Zack Ryder was going to lose and he did. So one of these underdogs or surprise people needs to win. That's what you do in a tournament.
Well,
the G1 is when all the people beat the Okadas,
Well, we do have this mystery opponent tonight. Solo Sikoa is going up against an unknown opponent. Who could it be?
Jacob Fatu returning? Was it a small surgery or it wasn't a surgery? It was some kind of personal issue.
They reported personal issue. Then they said surgery. Then they said dental surgery. You know how it goes.
I do know how it goes. As I'm eating a cookie, dental surgery. All right. Well, that's interesting, man. I guess I should have checked what was happening on Raw tonight. When they announce it, I'm all like, oh, that's great. But then when it gets to the time now, I'm all like, what's happening again? Oh yeah. So all that stuff sounds like it's gonna be fun. It might be a good episode of Raw.
It does.
Sometimes you notice that there's not much happening.
We'll fully preview Raw at the very end of this show because, as you know, here on KPHR, we go right up until 8 p.m. So we like talking about Raw at the very end of the show. Last week, we were talking about the lack of build-up to the War Games matches, and lo and behold, on Raw at SmackDown, we got the setups to the War Games matches. So let's go through this real quick. On the women's side, after the Kabuki Warriors won the women's tag team championships, they were attacking Charlotte and Bliss. Rhea Ripley comes back and she yells War Games. So right now, this is what we have. On the women's side, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and two people to be determined versus Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and one person to be determined. And just remember, Hutch, that on SmackDown, Charlotte said no to the invitation to join the War Games match.
All right, so basically, Charlotte is a hard sell to be a babyface, right?
Yeah.
Even in this babyface persona, she's very stiff and weird, and it's hard to get her back there. She's a great heel because it's not that she's easy to dislike, which she is, but that's a persona. I'm sure in real life she's very sweet. Now, who knows? But it's easy to be like, she's weird. I don't like her. She's weird. So it's easy to dislike her right away. So it's a hard sell to get her. So I think the realism of sorry, I know this is all scripted, but you and I have been feuding forever. I'm not just going to join you right away. We've all been begging for this of stuff forever, right? So, but now the big babyface sell is when she finally says yes at the end and joins like the Monday before, like the go home show. Like Charlotte like comes to the rescue, and she's her version of War Games is like, I'm on the team now, and then everybody's like, "Hey, Charlotte Flair's joining the team." Like somebody's like crying, "Thank you, oh God, Charlotte." So we can get our Charlotte babyface moment, and she doesn't even have to do shit after that in the match. Somebody else can win and do all the good shit.
Yep, exactly. That still leaves one open spot. Is that going to be Lyra Valkyria? Remember, on the other side, on the heel side, there's already one open spot. Is that going to be Becky Lynch? Are we going to get Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria? Are we going to get Bayley as the last face with Becky Lynch as the heel?
I don't know. Let's think outside the box. Is there anybody else that's like been off for a while? We've got Vakur and
Bianca Belair. We got Bianca Belair, who's been away since WrestleMania with the broken. We learned recently it was a broken knuckle that didn't heal properly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why she's been away for so long.
Now, what if Jade? No, Jade's on. Could Jane join?
Yeah, there's already mixing
both champions.
Brands.
Yeah, champions on the other side, so we could have Jade in there. Man, it could really be anybody. They might not even know yet. Right. But I'm guaranteeing you, Charlotte will be in that damn match. Unless it's some sort of like injury thing. Like they might have lost the titles because they're like, you don't always like minor injuries. There's a difference between being injured and being hurt. Charlotte could just be hurt. And they're like, you know what, you can't work for the next few weeks because of this like distended thing or this bruise thing or this whatever, you know? So like excuses. Whenever something really odd happens in wrestling, especially when something happens that we want to happen, believe it or not, where it's usually it can say like Daniel Bryan winning, getting the WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair actually acknowledging, sorry, I'm not just going to team with you because you guys need someone. Let's not forget, like I kind of hate your guts. I like you and I like you and I like you. It's like basically it's that scene from the Chappelle movie from Half Baked. It's all like you, you're cool, like you, I'm out. It's the opposite of that. It's like you're cool, you're cool, but F you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows who these people are going to be? But I guarantee Charlotte will be in there.
Yep.
Wait, maybe they can just clone Lash Legend, dude. This is like a long time coming. It's all about timing, movement, footwork, confidence. It like communicate. Like, dude, some wrestlers don't. Some wrestlers you work around them. You know, Paul Heyman's great. Some people are awesome, but when it comes to like she looks smooth. And I remember even seeing her when the other time she was on the main roster doing something, she looked good there. And I don't watch NXT that often, but whenever I do, I notice her and I like her.
Well, it's funny because like when NXT 2.0 started, and this is just a complete aside as we love to do, Lash Legend, you can tell that she never stepped in a ring before that show. Like, you know, she had limited training. And, you know, this is the thing I do love about NXT, and especially a lot of the people from NXT 2.0, where you know that, you know, the Tiffany Strattons of the world, you know, where they weren't really wrestling people per se, and just seeing them get to the level that where they are now. Lash Legend is just, it's awesome seeing how much she's improved.
Yeah, well, it's good shit. I'm glad she didn't get Von Wagnered. We're gonna make that a verb now. We're gonna make that a thing. She didn't get Von Wagnered.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about the men's side. Men's side, we have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and one to be determined versus Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and one to be determined.
Drew McIntyre. I like how they gerrymandered that storyline. Like you're suspended on like by all this, and then you said anybody on the roster, bam. So there you got it. It's like when the champions, they get suspended, they attack the champions so badly that they get suspended, and then the champion's like, I demand a match, I demand you reinstate them. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I mean, like, freaking non-sanctioned match, and then that's how you get there every time. It's great. It's like an ass backwards way of getting there with this. Who are they going to put in these? Are you going to ask me that question? Because I don't bloody know who they're going to put in these spots. I'm not in the mindset to think that, but I know it's going to be some good stuff.
I've been staring at the screen for I don't know how long, since before we even started recording. And I'm like, who could they add into these matches? I have no freaking clue at this point.
I'm like staring at you on this screen. You're staring at information. I should know. I should do I have 3 screens here. I should utilize them. In this fact, whenever we sit down to do this, I'm just like, hey, dude, what's up? I need to like pre-production. That's what I do. I should do what I do at my job.
It's
for
called,
this.
It's called research and prepreparation, my friend.
Yeah.
No, it's all
funny enough, I do a lot of that stuff. It's just like it's not in my world, right? The podcast sometimes. There are times where I would think about it for like the whole day or two before, and I'm like, ooh, this, that, and I'll write things down. I think about it, and I kind of but yeah, not today, my friend. Not today, Satan. But hey, we're still here. I got opinions. Last Legend. Let's clone her. And you said Cody Rhodes, so we could clone him and make Cody Rhodes again. And go back to. Anyways, boom, boom. You said Cody Rhodes. You just didn't say Rhodes.
Let's
like, hey, like I'm perfect.
Let's continue talking about SmackDown. We saw the return of Matt Cardona as Zack Ryder facing LA Knight. LA Knight wins the match. What did you think of that? And what do you think is the future for Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder?
I don't know. I'm not sure if he's going to get signed or be brought in. And I'm not sure if he's really like WWE, like he's so WWE, like on the indies, he's like the most WWE guy ever. But like in WWE now he's like, I don't know. I hope it works out. But it's like he's putting him against LA Knight is the perfect way of saying like these guys going to be a tag team. He's like, LA Knight is like a little more serious, like the 2025 version of him. A little bit old. I don't know. Like they're very similar. Like cookie cutter. If you explain them to a non-wrestling fan, nobody's ever watched wrestling, you explain them on paper. They'd be like, so one guy wears more purple and has the glasses. And I'd be like, wait, yeah, one guy's the round glasses. The other guy has okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry. They're like, who's who? So
this is why we should.
I don't know if he'll get signed.
This is why we should call them Knight Rider. Have David Hasselhoff come out with them. Have Kit.
Did you just come up with that, or is this a Twitter thing? Because I literally, with the tag team thing, I just said it as a joke. But if somebody else, if this is already like a thread out there somewhere,
probably is.
I'm
Honestly,
into it.
It probably is 100%. Like,
dude, I don't portmanteaus are worth taking risks. You're like, well, but I hate that dude, and you're like, yeah, but the name, bro, the name,
right? People
all right, I'll work with him.
People love complaining about like made up tag teams. Knight Rider, as made up as they are, future tag team champs. Boom, heard it here. A+ Wrestling, KPHR.
I guess so. I like that AJ and Dragon Lee like can't come up with a name. It's like the AJ Lee thing means that you can't have any name but that. So that means they have to like pretend like they don't know what name to have. You know?
Yep.
I don't know.
There we go.
I can't even remember that. That's Raw. At the moment, I keep mixing up the shows in my head. I'm like, God, I'm not paying any attention to brand split. But I almost feel like I want to answer that question. The Zack Ryder question. I said coming out as Zack Ryder is weird too because he came out as Matt Cardona. I watched the NXT where he was on that shit because I was like, Cardona, finally. So what makes me want to shake my head. But yeah, like I don't think he's gonna get signed. And LA Knight, I think LA Knight could be the Gunther. He could be the guy winning the tournament. He's the only other guy who I think, I guess we got the trifecta, but I don't really think they're going to put Sheamus in that position. I think Sheamus has an opportunity to win the IC title between now and then at some point. But who was he's kind of feuding with someone? Was it Mysterio? I was thinking they might screw each other over in the tournament in some fashion. But anyways, I think you've got a good opportunity there for him, but I think LA Knight could be the guy winning the tournament. That's a great opportunity. It's like when Vince is saying to CM Punk, but you're facing Triple H at Mania. He's like, I don't need to face him. I'm going to go home. Like, screw this place. Like, it's pretty much LA Knight. You're getting the John Cena's last match. He'd be like, all right, great. Thanks for the push. Like in reality, they make a big, huge deal out of stuff because that's what WWE does. They love to take a little granule of something and be like, check out this massive sandstorm. And you're like, whoosh. Oh, it's John Cena's last match. And you're like, okay, it's John Cena's last match. But they'll be like, they'll be mentioning it for forever. Like, if Fandango came back tomorrow, they would mention that he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania in his first match. Like they would never let that shit go ever.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because Fandango, JDC, and TNA announced on Thursday's episode at Full Sail that he is going to retire in January. So...
Okay.
There you go.
I thought you were saying he's going to come back as Fandango, and I'm like, dude, the quantum universe is strong today. But whatever. I think it might be a nagging injury for him.
So there we go. Yeah, tons happening in WWE. We finally get some semblance of a of a card for Survivor Series. They've only announced the 2 War Games matches. I'm sure John Cena is going to be thrown in there. I doubt he's going to be in the War Games matches. I will be shocked if he's in the War Games matches. Doesn't fit in those matches or in that match for the men.
No,
obviously.
but I mean, yes, he is Hollywood and he's protecting himself and he's probably insured to a degree, like physically in some ways. But you got to think of the Trish Stratus mentality. Like they want to do that one last time. They want to, you know,
maybe.
I think of all the guys that have done it. Like Cody loved to go hardcore at AEW. He's like, I want to do this shit. You know, I want to try it out. Cardona, Deathmatch King. He wanted to try it out. And even goddamn David Arquette want to try it out. Like everybody kind of tried out when they were wrestlers. So I mean, not like Cena hasn't tried it out, of course, but I just mean you might want that one more time. It's weird. Wrestlers are weird. They love that shit. They do this because they love it.
That's exactly it, right? They're batshit crazy, and I love them for it, and I thank them for it. Let's talk about NXT real quick. Over the next 2 weeks, NXT will take place in New York City at the theater at MSG. It is WWE NXT Gold Rush 2025. It's a 2-part show with WWE, TNA, AAA, and Evolve, along with NXT wrestlers taking place in the shows. All the brands going at it. So this is what we have for week 1, airing this Tuesday, tomorrow on NXT, CW in the States, Netflix in Canada. All right, this is what we have. We have for the NXT Women's North American Championship, we have Blake Monroe versus Sol Ruca. We have Ethan Page and Chelsea Green versus Joe Hendry and Tia Hale for the AAA World Mixed Tag Team Championships. We have Tatum Paxley versus JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. And then we have Dark State's Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Is Slater still Impact champ?
He's still the X Division champ.
He's still a X Division champ? See, like when he mentioned, like, hey, I got business here with the X Division last time when they were talking. I could see that maybe happening, but they just won it back from the Hardys. I don't know. I'm not seeing any title changes here. I mean, Tatum just got it. Is there but that's just night 1. What's going on with night 2? I don't see any title changes here. These all seem like good matches. It's just basically padding guys' stats, furthering things. They might do the Javon and Leon thing because they're popular and they love Javon, but they might also not because he's doing stuff like, you know, we already...
God bless Joe Hendry and Tia Hale, but there's no way they're taking the titles off of Ethan Page and Chelsea Green anytime soon, especially this early.
Well, I mean, you know, Conan loves Hendry, and I think he's done some stuff down there. They love him down there. But yeah, I think you're right. It's still a little too soon. Like, that's what I mean. Everybody seems to be fresh. It's all fresh and new for these title holders. So we'll see.
All right.
I mean, look what they did to Santana.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Week 2, taping on Tuesday, going to be airing November 25th, the day after my birthday. We have Zarya versus Fallon Henley for the vacant WWE Women's Speed Championship. Kalani Jordan versus Jordan Grace versus Li Ying Lee. A triple threat match for the Knockouts Championship. We have Jackson Drake versus Sean Legacy for the Evolve Championship. And we have Kendall Gray with Ren Sinclair versus Lainey Reed with Fallon Henley and JC Jane for the Women's Evolve Championship.
So wait, JC Jane's working twice in one night, split out over 2 weeks of a taping though, right?
Yeah.
Dude, man, anybody who like shat on her, they were wrong, man. She was the dark horse, workhorse. She's probably a good communicator in the ring. They realize that she's got a lot of talent. It's not always what you think that makes a wrestler. You know, like she might be that like workhorse person. The reason Dolph Ziggler was good is sometimes people, you know, and you remember the Elimination Chamber match that went to shit, even though Mark Henry was definitely more of a veteran than Ziggler. You know, Ziggler you can't say he's not a veteran. He was so long in the business at that point, but he without even a second thought, they were all like looking at him. They were like, and he's just like, okay. You know, I bet you she's that type. So those will all be good matches too. I'm not seeing, I haven't been following. I'm so ashamed that I didn't follow Evolve. I really wanted to right away because a lot of my boys are there, especially like Jack and Cartwheel come this Thursday at Demand Lucha, returning for the first time in a while. But I'm not seeing any title changes here happening at all. I think it's just gonna be a good show, and I'm glad that they're taping it all and maybe giving them a week off, doing other things. Who knows what's going on? It means
remember,
good things for
next
NXT.
week is Thanksgiving in the States, so all the tapings are happening. I think Raw is live next Monday, but SmackDown has a double taping this week. NXT has a double taping this week. They're getting most of the following week off for Thanksgiving.
That's great.
Yeah, that's NXT Gold Rush. All right. Let us jump to AEW and talk about the week that was in AEW. Blood and Guts. Hutch. Man, it's almost criminal. It almost sucks for WWE that AEW got their War Games matches in before WWE. Because let me tell you this. I'm a fan of soccer. I love soccer. Footy. Football, as they call it. Football, as they call it back in El Salvador. Watching a Premier League match and then later on in the afternoon having to watch TFC and an MLS match, sometimes it's fucking hard to do, and I'm sorry for swearing, but man, it is hard to watch. The pinnacle, whether it be the Bundesliga, whether it be Serie A, whether it be the Premiership, and then having to watch MLS. And that's what I feel what we are doing here, watching AEW's Blood and Guts, which took place this past week, and then having to watch Survivor Series in a few weeks. Oh, my God. And I want to say the MVPs of the night, the women, because that match was something else. And I know that match might not be for everyone. It's not entirely for me, but they left it all in the ring.
Yeah, like this is what I mean. What I was saying earlier about John Cena and want to do the match. Like these gals wanted to do this match.
Look at Sky.
They're like they might not get.
She pulled a Moxley.
Yeah, like
I think she broke Moxley's record for leading.
Yeah, I guess so. Dude, it was 6-minute mark for her and Wheeler both. Bam, 6 minutes in, they both started bleeding. But yeah, great stuff. I hope there doesn't appear to be any injuries.
No, nothing crazy,
and that's what I was worried about, was so many people in there, that people getting hurt, but not injured, like I was saying. So many times people mention Julia Hart going through the cage, through the hole. And I'm like, I'm like, it's like a self-own in a small way. It's how like you're small enough to do this, like, and you're a wrestler. It's a cell phone on all of us marks watching this shit. This is the Cornette and the JD from NY and me that's being like, I guess it was a cool spot, but in reality, when you pull back 2 or 3 layers, you realize this was a cell phone in a lot of ways for all of us. like what the fuck, man? But great match. And I'm trying to think, like, I like that the heels went over Megan Bayne. I liked all the promo shots I keep seeing of them all huddled together with them all like covered in blood and stuff. Like this is Megan Bayne, what a workhorse, man. She's going back and forth from the US to Japan for Stardom and doing the Stardom tournament, the tag tournament over there. And like, wow.
The next
morning,
Joey Janela posted that he saw her at the airport and said goodbye to her as she was going to Stardom or wherever.
Yeah, but then she's coming back for like the next week again. Like she's literally going back and forth. And it was Meltzer who was saying that if you take a look at the history, nobody has done what she's doing right now. Nobody has ever competed in 2 major tournaments in the US and Japan at the same time. Right now she's competing in a women's tournament, a tag tournament here and a tag tournament there. Nobody's ever done that. Japan tag tournaments are a big deal in Japan. And he's like, I'm not sure if he was talking specifically about tag tournaments or just any major US tournament and major Japanese tournament at the same time. Generally, when a US competitor goes to Japan for a tournament, they stay there for the tournament. That's what Japanese tours are, right? So very interesting.
Blood and Guts, comparison between War Games, great matches, women left it all in the ring. We didn't get the Roderick Strong heel turn. In fact, we got Kyle O'Reilly being the one submitting Moxley. That was an interesting end.
Yeah, man, they're putting Kyle over. Great. What a great ending sequence there. Like the ankle lock that the standing ankle lock he couldn't get out of before, turning it around, and they reversed, and then once again, all the way back. I think they reversed 3 or 4 times. I loved it. I liked the ending. I enjoyed this match. I don't want to see all these matches right now. I remember being excited about VHS tapes, man, being able to get War Games And I'm being upset that I knew that they did like a small house tour, but there's just so much of it now. Are we going to is there a women's War Games match as well? There is. No? Yeah, there is. Oh my God. So we're getting 4 of these freaking things.
What is in your eggnog, my friend?
See what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
A lot of brandy.
And not Cody Rhodes brandy.
Well, I remember right after I said it, I say things and then my self answers, right? I'm like, whether this is that. And then I'm like, yeah, you guys just talked about it. Then you're like, yeah, we just talked about it. I was like, yeah, I just said that to myself in my head, dude. I don't need you. Okay.
Clearly you do.
I got all of me in here. I got all 8 of me in here. We're fine. Shut up, dude. Anyways, I'm not sure if I want to see all these matches, but at least this time, they kind of did good this match. I liked a lot of the little things in this one. I love the sunglasses punching. Orange Cassidy. I like the baby face, the weird baby face advantage, and Roddy having to go in, and then Renee backstage, but not showing her, just doing like an audio voiceover with like a picture of like, we're backstage. Yeah, we're trying to find what's going on backstage. We found Mark Briscoe. We found Mark Briscoe. You know, like that's the energy that I would like in my mind. It was one of my guys in there was like, that's the energy he was feeling. And, yeah, I was enjoying that. Trying to think of some of the other spots that I enjoyed. I like the oh, dude, the freaking fire. Okay, what I don't like is that you can see the medical crew there waiting, and I like it's a case. Sure, it's like my sadomasochistic where you don't want the guy to get taken care of. It's like no, but it's just the Julia Hart through the cage door own. It's like all right, it was great and all, but.
I'm glad that you brought that up because that was actually here in my notes because I do research for this show. It's the fact that
I don't have to. I still got all your notes in my mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, go.
The mind meld that is A+ Wrestling here on KPHR. No, but seriously, it's funny that you brought that up just because like when you're watching these matches, there's that like level of realism and that level of like you want it to be real, and seeing the medical personnel there kind of takes you away from that moment just a little bit. And I feel like we're nitpicking. I'm nitpicking for sure a little bit, but you know what I mean? It kind of takes you away from that moment of holy fuck, this guy, and I don't know why we're swearing so much in this episode, but it is what it is. But this guy just went through a flaming table for us.
Yeah, and like he really is insane. And like on the bare flesh and everything, but God bless him. He must have like a pain sensory thing. Like he just doesn't feel pain the same way, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways it's the cell phone. Maybe they shouldn't be doing so much. It's like me saying that we shouldn't be seeing all of these matches. And by the time we get to the last Survivor Series match, it might seem lame. Hopefully WWE can pull it off. They often do in some ways because they lean more on story, but they can fail. They can fail big time. But you know, then Darby was done after that, right? So that's great. At least that was an ending spot for him. Thank God. I want to see him hobbling out like Mick Foley. Gotta take another bump. But like that's the problem. He is the next Mick Foley. Like everybody like, what's he gonna do next? What's he gonna do next? It's like where were they? Was it Missouri? Wherever they weren't allowed to do the fire and they did the water spot with Sting showing up. It's like they were like, well, we still got to do the fire spot we had planned. It's like they're like kids that have no control. It's like Lord of the Flies. I swear to God, like it's just like they're all just kids, and like if you go backstage, you'd find like heads on pikes and shit. You'd be like, "Oh fuck, man, what the hell's going on around here?" I'd be like, "This guy didn't like my booking." You know, my suggestion, he's done. And that's why we don't see Cole Cabana anymore. Secretly, they all talk good about him, and they're like, "Oh, we like him because he doesn't like Punk too." But really, he's backstage, heads on a pike backstage. He had some. He was like, "Guys, I don't know if I think what's done." He didn't even finish his sentence. I remember there was something I was trying to think. There was like one spot like earlier that I was like, oh, I should mention this spot because I really liked
Staples?
it. Well, not that I liked it, but
Orange Cassidy Staples.
That Staples in the pocket. And like I saw somebody shitting on this because he's like had it for too long, and in reality, you could just pull you like in some warped universe in time. I was a Sonata fan, and before he failed us all, he's still in there somewhere. I mean, I don't know which one of his 8 voices are in control right now, but I don't like it. But like the Paradise Lock, like if I can watch the Paradise Lock and get excited when I see it a little bit, like yeah, turn him on, like kick his ass, yeah, then I think I can deal with this Staples in the pocket spot. I mean, and you saw him trying to get his hands out, so it's not like he wasn't selling it.
Yeah,
he was like
he didn't let so
he was trying.
I don't know if we've talked about this, but my biggest pet peeve in professional wrestling whatever, wherever it is in the world, is when people are literally waiting for the next spot or allowing themselves to have something happen. So at the very least, like you said, Orange Cassidy put some resistance. I allow it. I enjoyed it.
When I call the Lucha Libre matches, I love to talk about creating this. Lucha Libre is not pro wrestling. It's Lucha Libre. It's a free fight. You want to create distance. So that's why you push guys off. And that's why they run on their own without much assistance, because they know they're like, all right, I want to use my offense. I want distance and I want speed. And he wants to use his. And I work with my opponent sometimes, and I wait for my opponent, because in Lucha Libre, it's all about countering and balance and the slight minutia of body weight and momentum. So we can both get up on the top rope, and you're thinking you want to stand there and you want to jump up and try and hurricane on me. But I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to let you do that, because then I'm going to So this is how I try to call the lucha. It's harder to do it in American straight pro wrestling, because you're just like, yeah, they're standing there waiting. I'm trying to stretch it hard calling the lucha, but it's me as well. But I mean, what can you do? If it's evolved to the point where we're all waiting for a chicken with a garbage can on her head to jump onto everybody, then I sure hope they're waiting so that they can catch her. So, it's the sadomasochistic part where I was like, am I really that upset that the medical staff are waiting for Darby? Am I really that upset? Because they haven't jumped yet. I'll pretend to sell and be dizzy for a second, and that's all it takes for you to not notice. And they hit you. One of the worst injuries I saw on TV, Wade Barrett. We don't talk about it, but like his elbow, popped right out through his friggin' skin. It was just catching a tope. It was like 5 guys catching someone, and he was like on the outer side, and it's just the way it hit him, and he landed. The person's leg or something hit his arm, it hit the table, and boom, it just popped out. And he's such a tough guy that he just got mad. He was more angry than in pain. Safety first, right? But unfortunately, it's all about camera work. Get some better camera people.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be seeing them standing there until the last.
I think that's more.
The eggnog, it's the cookies.
That's more production and being a producer than like an actual TV producer, not wrestling producer, than camera people. Camera people, they do what they can. It's the producer who makes the magic happen, and sometimes that magic gets taken away.
Dude, when you're the Midnight Express, I expect a lot from you. When you're in a singles match and you're a real pro wrestler, I really hate the fake clothesline duck. Even if you didn't duck, I'm not going to hit you, because they go really high up, and the timing of punches that are really bad. Dude, just punch. The guy's probably going to duck. You guys are pro wrestlers. Let's do this, right? There's some wrestlers that really give her. Cross is great at this. He's great at faking punches. Carrying Cross, he's not that great at landing punches. I hate that kind of stuff more than anything. To be honest with you.
All right, we have a few more things to talk about, so we're gonna flip the page to TNA real quick. It's like history repeats itself. This reminds me of Josh Alexander. We're gonna talk about Mike Santana and his basically a year-long going up the ladder, up the mountain, losing in his hometown at Slammiversary, getting another shot against Trick Williams for Bound for Glory, finally winning the championship. Then TNA loses all momentum. They go on hiatus. They're back after a 3.5 week hiatus. And they are back at Full Sail University last Thursday for a live edition of Impact, where Frankie Kazarian cashed in his Call the Shot championship and won the belt off of Mike Santana. After a bunch of craziness with NXT wrestlers, and Mike Santana already faced Nemeth. The point is, Frankie Kazarian, Grand Slam champion TNA, Mike Santana, got Josh Alexander. What are your thoughts?
If he gets Josh Alexander, it means he's going to come back and have the best reign of all time and be defined by that reign, because Alexander still basically is, right? Santana getting signed to WWE. Have we heard the rumor? Is he going over to NXT permanently? That's what we heard. I heard
not right
thing
now.
Online. I heard by reading. Could be an injury. Could be anything. Remember, like I've said before in the past, most of the times when you're like, what the hell? It's because there's something, anything. Could be family, could be injury, could be something weird stuff like Jacob Fatu and Gunther. Like Gunther needed some kind of weird sinus thing. I don't even think it had to do with wrestling. It might have had to do with his weight loss and who knows? Life happens, man. That's why I don't have time to research shit. So I'd like to think there's a reason why. Maybe they are even following the Josh Alexander playbook perfectly. But I've wanted Kazarian to be the champ for a while. I think he's a great heel when they give him a chance, when they give him the ball, which they haven't been able to do for much of a time period. But he's a hell of a talent. I don't know. I don't know him very much at all. We've emailed and we spoke but I love Tracy Brooks, his wife. I mean, she's like trained here at SCL. She's like the people that I run Demand Lucha with. She like grew up with them as like best friends with so I'm a Kazarian guy. Let's
Tracy
do it.
Brooks emails me before she has a match. Making sure that I write favorably of her matches for Slam Wrestling as a joke.
That's not surprising. Yes. Yeah. So like everybody, everybody around here, like really, if you're in the biz, from back in the day, Trace, but, I didn't like the finish. Let's put it that way. Like oh, my arm and the roll up and the deep, like Kawada, like I just gave you a freaking powerbomb roll up, jackknife style. I didn't like the ending. Kazarian like slamming the mat, like yeah. I finally did it. I finally healed. Finally snaked my way into the world championship at a point when really could have been even lower than it is now. Like LA Knight might have had it at its lowest, but Kazarian, I think we're getting close.
Yep. All right, there you go. We'll see what happens with TNA. Very weird stuff. TNA might even be on AMC. Yes, the Breaking Bad AMC.
Yeah.
There's rumors floating all around this past weekend that AMC might be the new home of TNA. We'll keep an eye on that. Very weird stuff.
Dude, there's a lot of potential there. It's a great product, great library. Like it's the cockroach that will never die, and like we're always talking about them because they do weird, crazy ass nonsense. So like,
TNA,
just keep it up, man. Let's go.
like
TNA forever. Even the name's back. TNA, it's back.
Like I've been saying for years, TNA is going to TNA. They're always going to do something that makes you go, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying about the Santana thing. They were like, TNA is going to TNA, baby.
All right. AEW Full Gear happening in just a few days. There are 9 matches. We're going to go through this a little quicker than normal. We only have about 10 minutes left in the show. I want to talk about this.
Well, I'm out of cookies, so yeah.
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Raw coming up in about 10 minutes. So let us go through the card real quick. We're just going to go through the matches that are on the main card. So we're going to start with Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Women's World Championship.
AEW is hard to call, man. I mean, like as a massive Japanese wrestling fan, I don't care that Santana lost on his first defense. As a massive Japanese wrestling fan, I guess I don't mind if Statlander gets a defense or two and then loses. Like this is how it works. But it's not designed the same way. The tours, the tag matches, the long stretches, the building of opponent. So it doesn't work quite the same way. But she's at 13 now, right? She just won the one at the Hog event this weekend.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Stats looking great. She was looking great in the Blood and Guts, man. She seemed like. I don't know, and you can't go much higher in AEW than that championship, and she really deserves a run.
I don't know why.
I think she could define herself.
I can see a schmoz ending. I can see a schmoz ending to protect both of them.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with schmoz ending.
Go with schmoz. Darby Allin versus Pac in a singles match.
Darby hasn't been winning a lot of his singles matches, right? He's just been getting Brooksed a lot. But Pac really needs some wins as well. Man, AEW always confusing the hell out of me. I don't know, but I guess he's probably going to get his revenge. But you think that with AEW, and then Pac will beat the crap out of him, pull his jacket off, and start ripping at the flesh scabs, and everybody oh my god! And then you're thinking, okay, well this is the awful spot that he's fighting back from is that his fresh wounds have been ripped open from his fire burns, and then Pac will beat him somehow. I don't know what's going on. This is why you got to watch. Maybe Tony Khan is Booker of the Year every year. Oh my god!
You better start thinking about that because as we do every year on A Plus Wrestling or other iterations of the show here on KPHR, the last 2 shows of the year are going to be the best of and the worst of 2025. More information, go over to A Plus Wrestling or the Facebook group for more information. Boom. Let us continue. We have a TNT Championship match. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. If Briscoe loses, he is forced to join the Don Callis family.
If they had less members, they could do a Butler kind of Jimmy Garvin with Precious kind of thing where I think it was Kerry or was Kevin Von Erich. Maybe it was David. I don't know whose slave he became, whose butler he became. But I don't know. Seems weird for him to lose again now. I think this is his chance to fight because they could push Fletcher up more. Especially if Mox goes away for a while, they need somebody to take over in the top spot. Maybe go against Hangman. So I don't know. Once again, who knows? But I'm all for Briscoe winning the TNT title. Put some more gold on Mark Briscoe.
All right.
Stop doing it too late. Everything's too late with AEW in a lot of ways.
We have a Casino Gauntlet match for the inaugural AEW National Championship. No one's been announced just yet. We have a $1 million trios match. I hate these matches with money on the line. I don't know why. I know I'm nitpicking, but I effing hate these matches with money on the line. It makes no sense when we know it's anyways. It's Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I don't mind a money match, but like we've had $500,000, we've got $1 million.
We also have
like three-way trios match.
Dude, we also have a $200,000 match in the 0 hour or the tailgate brawl or whatever they call it now.
All right, so like if you're freaking Tony Nese and you win the $200,000 freaking match, you go buy some Bitcoin, work for Tony Khan for another 5 years. You don't need to work anymore. I mean, you win your $1 million match. Like, I don't know if it's just me. You want to I'll work a match and I win $1 million and I'll split it with you because it's a tag match. Screw a trios, right? We'll just do a tag match. I don't really need to work much more after that. I get a lot of, I'm not that dumb. So like, I don't understand. This is too much money. 10 grand, 10 grand match makes sense. $15,000 like battle royal. I guess that's what happening early, but like it's too much money. I know inflation is a thing, but $1 million for a tag team match? Screw yourself. I guess Tony Khan really and in his new book, it's a great book. In this new book, roll my eyes at a lot of the stuff that's in this goddamn book, but holy moly, he basically is like, I'm not a money mark. Like I realized that like I had the finances and I had the proclivities and I was born to do this because like I know a lot about this and I finally had the opportunity and I didn't need the bucks of these people. He was brewing anyway. I'm just like all this fucking gobbledygook stuff that was probably not even him writing. But the truth of the matter is you obviously are, because if you're the kind of guy who feels like you can walk out of your office and be like, so boys, oh yeah, I heard you talking, and I was just, you know what? I just got off with Adam Pierce. I just got off with myself in the mirror, and yeah, we've booked you in $1 million match. I'm like, of course you're a money mark. Like, who the hell does that shit? Like Vince McMahon, like had the poise of a dickhead millionaire, and he's enough of a millionaire to know you don't give away $1 million for any goddamn reason.
Who's winning the match?
Sorry, I shouldn't be yelling. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Let's give Josh Alexander a win.
So the Bucks.
Yeah, the guy signed with AEW for the money. Done. He signed with him for the money. Give him the money.
All right. We have a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Brodito versus FTR.
Well, yeah, you know what? FTR, because they might. When's Cage and Cope? When's Cope coming back? Who knows? Anybody know? Is there a timeline? He's filming some shit, right?
Yep, filming stuff.
It's been about too much. They don't like if it's Vikings 2-3 like, yeah, it's not going to be that much longer if it is now. So yeah, like if he's already been gone 6 weeks to 2 months, they're only going to be filming for like three months max. There's only going to be a little bit of in studio time. It's all going to be on location. They don't rent these locations for forever. So yeah, it'll be time for Cope to come back. And so I think FTR, so they can go Cope and Cage.
There you go.
It's too bad because Brodito's great, but.
Steel cage match for the AEW World Championship. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe.
I think it's got to be Page, but that'll be fun. Another cage match, hey? I didn't want to like do what I always do and be like, thing, and then be like, and you'll be like, no, what are you talking about? But I was going to say, there's a 5th cage match somewhere, isn't there? Like out of these 4 cage matches, that's why I was confused. Like, I knew there was another cage match, and this is it. But if I'd done my research, I know where it was. You're still right. Okay, fine. It's got to be. Got to be Hangman. Hold on. It's got to be Hangman.
Who's right?
He lives up to his name.
Who's right?
Who was right?
Who's right?
I don't know. Oh, you were right. You were right, Boris. All right.
Thank you.
Make sure we're recording the podcast. You happy? All right.
Thank you.
I am CM Punk. It's all gone now. It's like there's no real. Yeah, I'm just like I'm part of the machine now. It's all fake. Right. I'm dyeing gray parts here and here. specifically, so
We
that
got
I can
under
look
5 minutes on
just
the
like
show.
CM Punk. Oh yeah, okay. Well, all I got to do is tell you who I think's going to win this match. Okay, if Hangman like lives up to his name, he should grab himself like a rainbow-colored bull rope and hang that sucker just like the Boss Man. Let's do it. Is there a roof on this cage? Is it
No,
not the blood and guts cage?
It's a steel cage. It's a steel cage.
So it's gonna have an open top. All right,
Yep.
then he needs to EO Sky it at least. Like, let's jump off in a garbage can or in something. What do cowboys? What can a cowboy get inside of? A barrel.
A barrel.
A barrel. Let's go all the way back to the Cracker Barrel days. Let's get a Cracker Barrel and do it. There.
WWE. So that is AEW Full Gear happening this weekend. We're going to be talking about it on next week's show. In just a few minutes, we have Raw starting. So let's just do what we do. Let's talk about Raw real quick. We already sort of talked about this, but John Cena's final Raw match, and apparently it's something different. That's what he's teasing.
Something different. I mean, do you think it's gonna be Hendry? No, that's not that different. Is it gonna be Cardona again? No. IC title defense. Something different. Something different. I don't know. I don't know. Waste these last few precious minutes. What do you think, Boris?
Honestly, I have no freaking clue who it could be. Like, I didn't even.
Whoa, wait. Oh, wait. Jericho's still under contract till the very end of the year.
Till the very end of the year.
Yeah, because I mean, I could see him wanting to blow a Royal Rumble opportunity or some kind of big comeback opportunity, even though he's very well known for that, just to get that moment with John Cena. John Cena has everybody boggled. Like it's like I wonder what his pheromones are like. You walk up to him and he's just like, oh, John
Just in love
Cena.
with them.
Like, goddamn.
Just fall in love with him.
Yeah, everybody's in love with him. I like him again now. Like,
Whatever,
John Cena, baby.
whatever cologne your dad wore, John Cena smells like that.
Yes. He's like the Chuck. He's got all those Chuck Norris things. One day, John Cena will replace all the Chuck Norris memes. That I like when John Cena goes swimming, the ocean, he doesn't get wet. The ocean gets John Cena'd.
See this?
John Cena.
See how I'm pointing to
Yeah.
my
Okay,
right?
I see you pointing. I'm done. What do you want to talk about?
Last time is now tournament. Gunther versus Javon Evans.
Man, I already told you. Like you're man. Like I think it could go either way. I think they could schmoz it and get Javon over because one of these surprise underdog people has to go. That's what happens in tournaments, man. So if it's not Cardona, if it's not Hendry, if it's not somebody's got to go over, or else what's the point? So maybe I got to get. But then what's Gunther going to do? What's Gunther going to do after that? Right? Take the
IC
IC.
at Survivor Series for the IC title. That's what I think.
There you go. So yeah. All right, continue.
Javon Evans. Last time is now tournament. Solo Sikoa versus mystery opponent.
I already said that I think it's Jacob. What do you who
I
else do you think could be?
I honestly thought it was Jacob. I'm trying to think of who else could they bring in. We already got Cardona. Oh man, who else? I'm thinking of who else is injured. Who else could it be? I'm not sure.
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jesus Christ.
Jimmy Wang Yang. No? Is Dick Togo still working, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Dick Togo.
No, I thought he just recently retired. Anyways, we'll get him out of retirement. We'll bring him in.
He's still working. He just worked you want me to talk about he just worked the Taiji Ishimori gets even more ridiculous Iron Man tournament this weekend for New Japan. Oh, there goes my mic. That's what just happened, baby. So we could talk about that shit. But no.
And then we
only got
have,
30 seconds?
And then we have women's intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree. I think Dupree's going to win it.
Yeah, there's gonna be something going on there, and that'll lead to them both getting. Becky wants. I want to get my hands on her. I mean, the pay per view, they're gonna get put into the War Games matches to be like, I want to teach her a lesson in War Games. I want to smash her face because Becky can do those kind of promos. I want her. I want to have her. I want her blood on my hands. I want to smash her face into steel. I want to taste her blood. Lick her face. I want her. I want her. Okay, all right. And Maxine in the match too.
Boom.
There you go.
And then
we've come full circle. We figured it out.
That leaves one spot, which we think will go to Charlotte Flair. Boom. We just booked Survivor Series. Thank you, WWE. Thank you, Triple H. Expecting that check, TKO. We are done here for the week. Hutch, where can we find your work?
At Hutch Henry's. And go there right now. I just released the very second edition of Wrestling What If the WWE bought AEW in the scenario of how it gets there. And Tony Khan's like brutal, like Herb Abrams' road to destruction. It's the darkest wrestling dystopian timeline. Go at Hutch Henry's. It's only 16 minutes, but it's fun. And it's visually entertaining. I did some great sound work on it too. Like, go. What are you doing?
A+
Go.
Productions.com is where you can find all the information for this show and so much more. If you're listening to us on KPHR, be sure to subscribe to us so that you get the podcast version where we have this and so much more. It's going to be happening over the next weeks. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to start taking some teasers. We're going to start talking about a few things. So you want to go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A+ Productions, or if you just want the wrestling shows, A+ Wrestling. If you want to be part of the conversation, go over to facebook.com and search for A+ Productions. And like I said, in the next week, you're going to be getting the ballot for best and worst of 2025. Yes, we are doing that again. The ballot is going to be out this week. aplusproductions.com or facebook.com and search for A+ Productions. Hutch, as always, it was a pleasure. Enjoy your eggnog. Enjoy your cookies.
All gone.
Thank you for listening on KPHR or the podcast version. Whether this is the first episode or the 100th episode, we thank you so much. On behalf of the entire A+ Productions crew, he's Hutch. I'm Boris. Thanks for listening, but most importantly, stay tranquilo.